Taylor Swift then on a now bullish rally in the session. When looking at the Swift factor, the Swiftonomics.
Yeah, Taylor Swift she's transformed from a superstar into a cultural phenomenon at this point. The Eras Tour grossed over $2 billion. Taylor is extremely fan obsessed, and she knows that her fans have an emotional connection to her, so she priced those tickets at a reasonable level. The tickets on the open market were going for thousands of dollars.
Oh, Travis Kelce, you sneaky softie. Just when we thought he was out here catching footballs and living his best tight end life, he casually drops a not-so-subtle Taylor Swift Easter egg on his podcast, and now the internet is in full Swiftie meltdown mode. On the April 16th episode of New Heights, which is basically the Kelce Brothers Unfiltered comedy hour, Travis took a walk down memory lane and started talking about the first R-rated movie he ever saw. And what did he name drop? American Pie. Cute, right? Harmless nostalgia? Think again. As any self-respecting Swiftie will tell you, and by tell you, I mean scream it with annotated screenshots, American Pie is mentioned verbatim in Taylor's song So High School from the Tortured Poets Department. Yes, the very song that fans believe is her ode to the goofy, lovable, jock-next-door energy that is Travis Kelce. The lyrics go, "I'm watching American Pie with you on a Saturday night. Your friends are around, so be quiet. I'm trying to stifle my sighs." Suddenly, that random memory from Travis, it's not random at all. It's romantic. It's suspicious. It's a potentially lyrical confirmation that he is the muse. Naturally, the Swiftie sleuths on X clipped that moment from the podcast and started connecting dots like Taylor had dropped a new puzzle teaser. One fan even posted the lyrics alongside the podcast clip with virtual screaming and heart eyes emojis. Because here's the kicker. Back in May 2024, Travis already said So High School was his favorite song from the album. At the time, everyone thought it was just a cute boyfriend move. Now, it's giving layered emotional meaning. Like, are you in your secretly romantic era or what? This little movie mention had suddenly turned into an unofficial relationship timestamp. Did Taylor write about the moment they watched American Pie together, or was she referencing his past in a way only two people deeply obsessed with each other can? Either way, the podcast moment feels like a wink to the fans, one of those if you know breadcrumbs celebs drop when they want to set the internet on fire but pretend it's casual. And Travis, he's not even trying to be slick. He's just out here dropping lore like it's fantasy football. So here's what we're left with. A tight end who randomly name-checks a film that just so happens to be in the lyrics of a song written by his global pop star girlfriend. A fandom that caught the reference in record time. And an entire corner of the internet now convinced that Travis is deep in his emotional slow-burn love story phase. And just when you thought the American Pie Easter egg was the peak of Swiftie Kelce chaos, along comes Travis with yet another podcast moment that has fans howling. This time over a username. That's right, username. Because apparently, even names on a screen aren't safe from becoming iconic gossip fodder in the Swiftie multiverse. During the fan-favorite No Dumb Question segment, Travis read a question submitted by a fan whose username was, wait for it, Tay's Servant. Yep, you heard that right. Someone out there on the internet proudly identifies as a humble minion in Taylor Swift's royal court, and Travis's reaction? A single, stunned, hilariously awkward, okay. No follow-up, no elaboration, just pure Midwestern man confusion. Jason, as usual, kept it pushing like it was completely normal. Meanwhile, Travis looked like his brain had momentarily blue-screened. Honestly, we don't blame him. The Swiftie usernames are getting bold. The fan's actual question? A thoughtful hypothetical about which past podcast guest Travis would want to swap lives with for 48 hours. But let's be real, no one was listening to the question after Tay's Servant was uttered. Still, to his credit, Travis answered like a champ, saying he'd love to be LeBron James for a couple of days. Slam dunks, NBA dreams, the usual tight end fantasy life. But let's circle back. Tay's Servant, y'all. That's camp. That's dedication. That's Swiftie behavior turned up to 11. And if you think this is the first time Travis has been blindsided by the fandom's creativity, oh no. Back in March, he and Jason got tripped up trying to pronounce the handle @CorneliaStGurley, a shout-out to Taylor's Cornelia Street. Then in September, they completely missed another Swiftie reference, glossing right over a username inspired by When Emma Falls in Love. Jason was like, is that a lyric? And Travis? Silent. Sir, you're dating the Taylor Swift. We need you to study the vault tracks like it's game tape. To be fair, Travis never claimed to be a Swiftie scholar, but he's clearly doing his best, showing up at Eras Tour concerts, getting roasted by usernames, and taking it all like a champ. And now that the Eras Tour and NFL season are both on pause, he and Taylor are apparently in full low-key couple-in-love mode, hiding out in Kansas City, taking cute trips, and dodging paparazzi like pros. Maybe next episode, we'll get a username like Swelcy Forever. Honestly, Travis would probably just blink and say, okay, again, and the internet would explode again. And speaking of questionable life choices, Travis and his seasonal golf crisis, the Kelce brothers are now plotting to risk life, limb, and potentially sobriety in their quest to tick off the most chaotic bucket list items known to man. Yes, in true we're rich, retired, and slightly unhinged fashion, Jason and Travis have just revealed their dream sporting events to attend before they die. And let's just say, the list screams midlife crisis with a passport. In the episode, the brothers held a full-on bucket list draft, like fantasy football, but instead of choosing players, they picked high-octane, crowd-screaming, insurance-won't-cover-this type events. First pick? Jason went full YOLO and chose the Pamplona Bull Run, because nothing says post-retirement relaxation like being chased by half a dozen angry bulls through narrow Spanish streets with zero bathroom access. Travis, meanwhile, swerved the horns for horsepower, choosing the Monaco Grand Prix like the classy adrenaline junkie he is. Apparently, childhood memories of arcade racing games gave him the itch for champagne-fueled chaos and yachts. And this wasn't just a casual chat, oh no, it was a snake draft, which sounds like something invented by men who think fantasy leagues are a personality trait. So, of course, Travis swung back with another solid pick, the Champions League final. The man wants to experience 90 minutes of high-stakes football surrounded by chanting Europeans, flares, and probably someone crying into a pint. So basically, a spiritual upgrade from Arrowhead Stadium. Jason's next pick? The Palio di Siena, a bonkers Italian horse race that looks like the Kentucky Derby after a few Aperol spritzes. He described it as electric as fuck, which, coming from a man who once blocked 300-pound linemen for fun, is saying something. And yes, other picks range from darts in the UK, because beer plus math equals entertainment, to the Olympics, to something called Flugtag, where people try to fly homemade aircrafts off piers, which sounds exactly like the kind of event you'd end up in by accident after one too many sangrias. While Travis has a little less free time, someone's got to pretend the NFL isn't rigged. Jason, freshly retired, has nothing but time and an itch for adrenaline. The Pamplona run is literally this July, and if he shows up in jorts and a GoPro, we riot. Honestly, forget watching these events. We need a docu-series of the Kelce brothers doing them. And speaking of bucket lists and time off, guess who's living their best off-duty celeb couple life right now? Yep, Taylor and Travis are officially in their cozy core era. And let's just say, the PDA is low-key, but the vibes are high-key adorable. While Travis is out here, fantasizing about running with bulls and sipping champagne in Monaco like he's in a Bond movie, he's also very much in his golden retriever boyfriend era. Doting, chill, and very much whipped. According to sources with very obvious first names, this downtime with Taylor is hitting different. We're talking romantic getaways, friendship bracelet-themed parties, and a full-on costume party to celebrate her Eras Tour finale. Because, duh, what else do you throw for mother? Apparently they're very serious and in sync, which makes sense since they've been basically twinning in age, vibes, and probably Spotify Wrapped too. While Tay's out of stadium mode and Travis is still recovering from yet another Super Bowl heartbreak, this time courtesy of Jason's team, the Eagles. Awkward much? The two are said to be keeping things private and chill. Translation? No NFL chaos, no screaming fans, just love, laughs, and maybe a few bougie brunches. And let's not forget, when Travis couldn't make her final show, he surprised her with a themed party where everyone showed up in their fave era. He even gave her the iconic 22 hat. Is this man in his rom-com husband era or what? Insiders say they're traveling non-stop, hanging out with friends and soaking up this rare slice of downtime before the madness begins again. Travis heads back to training camp, and Taylor preps for whatever jaw-dropping thing she's planning next. Reputation TV, Tortured Poets Tour, World Domination. And just when we thought Taylor and Travis were settling into full-blown soft-launch married couple mode, surprise! Our girl might be cooking up the next era in secret, because why not drop an album while you're also being America's sweetheart, attending steakhouse openings and sneaking off to Park City in a luxury puff coat? Yes, Swifties, put down your detective corkboards and red string. Well, actually, don't, because the TS12 chaos is officially in session. The chaos began in the most unexpected place, Sweden. Who would have thought a casual DJ interview would set the fandom ablaze? Jacob Cribrorn, half of the DJ duo Nas, casually spilled that he was just finishing Taylor Swift's album, and the Swifties, they collectively combusted. "Vi ska bara göra klart Taylor Swift's plata," he said, and that was all it took. That single line was the equivalent of Beyoncé dropping an album at midnight with zero warning. Universal Music Sweden tried to delete the video like it was a rogue text to an ex, but too late. The Swiftie forensics unit had already saved, captioned, translated, subtweeted, and probably embroidered it on a throw pillow. Now let's talk the math. Swift posted about Selena and Benny's album using exactly 12 Ds. 12, not 11, not 13. The fandom spiraled. TS12 confirmed, one fan cried, while another tweeted, "I fear this will be the best album ever made." And honestly, they might be right. And at the Grammys, she rocked earrings with 12 red gems. Coincidence? Please, this is Taylor Swift. Nothing is accidental, including her accessory game. If the orchestral rumor is true, shout out to Eric Arvinder, we might be getting a symphonic heartbreak anthem that leaves us emotionally unstable for weeks. And we love that for us. We need a version of All Too Well that sounds like it was scored by Hans Zimmer and weaponized to destroy exes with violins. And yes, word is she's not only cooking up TS12, she might be heading back on tour in 2026. A low-key tour, though. No giant stadiums, just Taylor, a mic, and the collective emotional baggage of 100,000 fans. Iconic! And just when we were all busy decoding Taylor's gemstone earrings and counting the number of D's in her Instagram captions like it was a national sport, bam! The McAffrey family decided to throw their football into the Swiftie Stadium again. Because what's a new Taylor Swift album era without a sprinkle of sports family drama, right? So if you thought the Super Bowl was just touchdowns and halftime glitter, think again. Flashback to February. Lisa McAffrey, mother of San Francisco 49ers star Christian McCaffrey, and now mother-in-law to former Miss Universe Olivia Culpo, said what many NFL moms were probably thinking, but with just a bit more flair. On a podcast with Olivia, she casually declared Taylor Swift was dead to us for the week of the Super Bowl. A little dramatic? Maybe. Hilarious? Absolutely. Now, before Swifties could even cue up, "Look what you made me do," Lisa's comment was everywhere. Fans were like, "Ma'am, she's not even playing in the Super Bowl." But when has that ever stopped anyone from dragging Tay into football politics? And just when the internet had kind of moved on to more important things, like deciding which album TS12 will emotionally destroy us with, Ed McAffrey, yes, Lisa's husband and ex-NFL star, popped out of retirement to defend the honor of the household. In a new interview, he basically said, "Relax, people, Lisa's actually a Swiftie," and pointed to some Taylor memorabilia in their house because apparently nothing says "we cool" like a framed Midnight's lyric on the mantle. Ed even admitted he doesn't really remember what the fuss was about, which, same, honestly. It's been like 10 scandals and 3 outfit decodes since then. But the McAffreys want to make it crystal clear. No hard feelings, no bad blood, just a temporary radio boycott and some harmless trash talk that got blown up into a Swiftian scandal of epic proportions. And just when we thought the McAffrey-Swift drama was being tucked into the "we're all good now" drawer, bam! We've got more tea to spill. And this time it's giving real estate meets romance. Because while Ed McAffrey is busy dusting off Taylor-themed home decor to clear the air, Taylor and Travis are reportedly out here planning to buy a house together. Yeah, not just renting a cute little bungalow or hiding in hotel suites. They're allegedly picking out countertops and comparing property taxes like a married couple on HGTV. After the Super Bowl overexposure saga, seriously, they were on camera more than the actual players. Tavis did the celeb thing and jetted off on a "we're normal, please ignore us" vacation. Think private jets, no paparazzi, probably matching linen outfits, and at least one bottle of Whispering Angel Rosé. They wanted to let the NFL hype simmer down and the public forget that Travis was basically on more magazine covers than quarterbacks. But according to insiders, and yes, the People.com kind of insiders, not your aunt's Facebook page, the two haven't exactly been laying low romantically. Apparently they're inseparable, as in, let's build a life and possibly install his and hers closets inseparable. And what better place to do that than Kansas City? That's right. Multiple outlets are saying they're house hunting there, which is either wildly adorable or dangerously cozy, depending on how you feel about love and real estate during Mercury retrograde. Now, before you picture Taylor struggling with a measuring tape while Travis argues over backsplash tiles, let's add another layer of spice. Travis is opening a restaurant with Patrick Mahomes this summer. It's called 1587 Prime, and if that doesn't scream steakhouse with a side of bromance, I don't know what does. So between home shopping, romantic getaways, and debuting as a Kansas City restopreneur, Kelsey's clearly building an empire and possibly making space for Taylor to co-rule. And speaking of nesting and granite countertops, if you ever needed proof that Travis is built for this whole family man with a mortgage era, look no further than Papa Kelce, aka Ed Holiday Hero Kelce. Because while Travis and Taylor are out here house hunting like they're auditioning for Property Brothers Celebrity Lovebirds Edition, Ed was once hustling double shifts at a candy store just to make sure his boys had Xbox under the tree. Talk about dad goals, or should we say, the original Swiftie level gift giver. Peace out.